at this page and we want to select a category of our Instagram account. And we have a few ways to do that. When you activate the input, you have two options. Option one is to type, and option B is basically to select a category from the list. And this is a tricky part because if you start typing, we need to show one set of values. And if you are choosing, we need to show another set of values. And I'll explain what I mean by that in a second. So let's say I am choosing something from the dropdown. So as soon as I choose something, I will no longer be able to type. Let's say I'm choosing the interest. And as I do that, we have this item appearing in here, and we have interest at the top. We have this little check mark, and now we can choose from items that belong to interest. Let's say we're choosing science. We are choosing science. Again, we have science under interest, and we have science in here. And if I uncheck this box or I click here, we just go in a step back to interest. Okay, let's say we're choosing science. And the important part is that every category, every deepest layer in the category must have other. So if we don't have a value that the person is looking for, we minimize the confusion on their end, so they can always select other, but we don't necessarily want to record that in the database, whatever. I mean, we just need to give them an option to complete the selection. So let's say they choose other, and if there are no deeper layers of categories, the dropdown must close, which is something that happened right now. So let's say if I hit on this, we'll need to open the dropdown and show the selection. And for example, I click on science and it goes a step back. So that's that. But what happens if they start typing? When they start typing, we'll need to show a little bit different list of categories because here's how it works. Let's say I'm typing something. I'm typing science, and in here, we just show in science, but we have science as a part of interest category. But we don't need to confuse user with that because basically he's looking for science. But if they choose science, we need to go through the same process as in the previous step. So they chose science, they choose something else, and there you have it. But again, as soon as you have selected some category, you can no longer type.